I'm Geeta Gurumurthy. Thanks for being with us. The Republican-controlled state house in Texas has passed the new congressional maps, which they hope will deliver them 5 extra seats at next year's midterm elections. It's a hugely controversial move, which has sparked battles over redistricting across the country. In California, Democrats are moving to carve up their state map in retaliation. In other Republican states like Indiana, Missouri and Florida, they too are talking about tweaking congressional maps to create more Republican-controlled seats. So what does it mean for politics in the United States? Well, I'm joined by David Goodman, Houston bureau chief of the New York Times, who's been following this story. Thanks for being with us, David. We have sort of boundary changes as well, but it's supposed to be controlled in the UK according to population. Can you just explain briefly the process in the US?
Well, thanks for having me. In the United States, it actually varies by state. And the state legislatures are able to set the boundaries in many cases, and that becomes a partisan political project. Now, normally this happens only after the once-a-decade census, where the population numbers are adjusted, and you sort of figure out where the lines are supposed to go, because in the House of Representatives, each member is meant to represent the same number of people. There's a one person, one vote principle. But some states like California previously had independent commissions do it, more like I guess they have it done in the UK. But here, a lot of states still have state legislatures do this in a partisan manner. And what we're seeing now is sort of that taken to its extreme. So Texas is very blatantly going out and saying, we're going to do this, redraw these lines to get as much Republican advantage as we can. These are Republican leaders of the state who are doing it. And that's been a challenge now to these Democratic states who are looking to counter it, but have roadblocks that they've put in place to try and take politics out of it. And now they're trying to put the politics back in.
And just tell us about California.
Yeah, so California has been the state that's been most ready to respond to what Texas is doing. And Governor Gavin Newsom in California put forward a proposal that would try and get around the state's independent commission. So there they have a commission in their state constitution that's supposed to draw the lines. What Gavin Newsom has done is get the Democratic legislature there to put forward a new plan that would draw 5 new Democratic districts to counteract the 5 that Texas has drawn. But they have to bring that plan actually to the voters. So what's going to happen in California is they're going to vote it out of the legislature probably today. The Democrats think they have the votes to do that. But then it's actually going to go on the ballot in November. And the voters will have a chance to decide whether they actually want to make this change to their constitution on a temporary basis in order to counteract what's been done in Texas. So the California situation is a lot more protracted and a lot more uncertain than what's been happening in Texas.
For a country that's supposed to be the world's most powerful democracy, this all looks a bit bewildering, I'm going to be honest. What do you think it means overall for what's coming up in the midterms?
Well, that is the ultimate goal here. And Donald Trump, President Trump, has been very explicit that what he's after is to hold on to control of the U.S. House for Republicans. Now, Republicans have a very narrow margin in the House, and if he were to lose it in the midterms, which is very possible because often the party out of power does take control in those midterm elections, if he were to lose that control, he's worried that Democrats would then stymie his agenda, but also they could launch investigations to just make his life a lot more difficult. So what this is all about is Donald Trump trying to maintain control of the U.S. House, and Republicans in the states going along with this plan because they too, want to see his agenda pushed forward and not blocked by Democrats. So this is a very raw partisan fight over the U.S. House of Representatives that's playing out in each of these state houses all over the country.
So, I mean, is literally every state now looking at this, or is potential change focused in certain parts of the country?
Well, yeah, not every state can actually do something about this in the time it would take to affect the midterm elections. So you have discrete places where they're looking to do this. So California is one, as we've said, Texas, Missouri, as just said, Donald Trump said today, actually, that Missouri is going to be looking at it. Indiana, the Republicans are trying to get Indiana to go along with that. And Democrats, for their part, are looking at New York. New York would be complicated because they couldn't actually get anything in place before 2026. But Illinois is another place where Democrats have looked at. The trouble is a lot of these states are already pretty gerrymandered, pretty cut up to benefit one party or the other. So the different parties are looking at states that have a lot of population and have a lot of seats that belong to the other party and thinking, how can we cut these states up differently so that our party has a greater advantage?
David Goodman, it's fascinating. Thank you very much indeed for talking us through that there.